At first glance, the camera on the Seattle Solo bag looks like any other top-loading Zoomster style bag, but look a little closer and you'll notice some differences. Upon opening the Velcro top flap, you're met with this garish red liner. Now this liner can be undone by the two buckles either side of the bag, and at this stage could be removed entirely if required, turning the Seattle Solo bag into a standard Zoomster style bag. But it's actually this red liner that makes the Seattle Solo slightly different from its competitors. If you spend any time on or near the water, or perhaps trekking in the great outdoors, you may all recognise the design of this bag. I'm unrolling it like this and it looks like a standard dry bag, the sort of thing you get to keep your gear safe on a canoe or keep your equipment dry inside a rucksack whilst walking in the hills. And of course, that's essentially exactly what it is. It's a standard dry bag that's been designed specifically to fit inside the Seattle Solo bag. The bag is roomy enough to comfortably take a Canon EOS 50D with an 18-200mm lens with the lens hood still attached. Now of course, it'll take any other similar sized camera with attached lens, and if you're using a smaller lens you could probably get extra equipment in there, such as an extra smaller lens or perhaps even a flash gun. One thing to bear in mind though is that the Seattle Solo bag isn't quite deep enough to house a Pro Body SLR or a standard SLR with a battery grip attached, something to bear in mind. So, with the camera safely stowed inside, all you need to do is roll the top of the dry bag back down, squeezing out the air as you do so, and then clip it back on either side. Now, I said to squeeze the air out as you do so, and that's simply because if you don't, you can be left with this balloon type shape at the top which can make doing the bag up a little difficult. That said, if you are actually using this on a boat or at sea or on a lake or what have you, then perhaps leaving some air in is not a bad idea, because of course it adds to the buoyancy, and in the event that your camera should go overboard, you might just keep it afloat for a little bit longer. So, that's my camera packed safely up inside the Seattle Solo bag. There's only one way to test whether or not this dry bag system actually works, and that's to get the whole thing wet. Fingers crossed. Well, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So let's just see how the camera on the Seattle Solo bag got on with my precious 50D. Well, the outside of the bag is thoroughly wet, the top of the dry bag is soaked. I'm just hoping the inside isn't. Well, that to me looks pretty dry. I say pretty dry, completely dry. Aside from the odd drip coming off me now, there's not a single bit of moisture on that. Which, given the thorough drenching it took, is pretty good going. Excellent stuff. Of course, the thing to remember is that the 50D was housed within the dry bag. Anything that I'd put in the extra pockets, the front or the lid of the bag, would be as wet as I am right now. So anything valuable that you need to keep dry, your camera, mobile phone, whatever, make sure it goes inside the dry bag. Then, unlike me, it will stay that way, dry. Speaking of which, if you'll excuse me.